I have something else to say, and I don't know. I just got so much to say right now. But what the world is experiencing is a lot of people are going on as regular. I'm in California with the fires and stuff. A lot of people are going on as regular because people are taught to live in survival mode and not to surrender to the will of God. People have been taught. I've already came out of the survival mode. God has worked on me already in out of my survival mode. But a lot of people are going to go through it real bad because they've been living in survival mode this whole time. They don't know what it means to come out of survival mode. They're going to actually like lose their minds because they're like they don't know what else to do. They're frantic because they built their whole life off being in survival mode. So now you have to start all over from scratch, and you have to rebuild the very thing that God destroyed before you to let you know that He is in control. But what you're going to do is go to idol after idol after idol. Some people will struggle. This is the book of Exodus where God I already has spoken on this before. The second Exodus is real. That God is going to come back for His people. That God is going to bring judgment on the land, bring His people out of the land. Okay? This is in the book of Exodus. And bring people through the wilderness. But some people will die in the wilderness because they've been living in survival mode this whole time. They've been living under capitalism. They've been living in oppressions for so long. They've been abused for so long. And this is not only in the real world where people live from job to job or in a home. People live like this in their relationships too. People live in survival mode in their relationships. People actually marry people out of survival. People marry people because of money. People don't marry out of love. People marry to withstand life. It's sad. Instead of depending on God. This is how people live their life. And people think that the things that they own and the things that they have equate to status and money and all this, when you could be brought to nothing overnight, which God has already done. And so God dealt with me months ago, last year, when he brought me out of survival mode to depend on Him in the wilderness, feeding me manna each and every day. This is all biblical prophecy that's happening right in front of our eyes, and people refuse to believe it. Still, disregard the filter. Don't pay no attention to the filter. Pay attention to the fact what I'm saying. That people are living in survival mode. They have been living in survival mode this whole time. And things have been destroyed. You have been brought to nothing. God has stripped you of the things that you have acquired and put on yourself as wealth. You no longer have no wealth. You no longer have nothing. Now you have to start over. And you are considered to be zero. But you are always zero to God, because your wealth and richness is stored up in heaven, not on earth. I'm just being real. Okay? You matter to God. Your status and image, it should be only made in God's image and in God's likeness. But we acquired everything wealthy, whatever the world said, which is the enemy, which is the devil, and it's false. It's not real. It's not real, including the life that we have made out of all this stuff. It's not real. We have to let go of what is not we have to let go of the reality of deception. And some people will refuse to do so. They will be so tied to the world that they will perish with it.